James Sanderson.
Recording in progress.
That James Sanderson puts on every single month, which is absolutely incredible. And our subject today is step into your power. So please put in the chat if you're ready to step into your power. We're on April the 1st. We've got a whole new month ahead of us, new goals. We can all learn from these amazing, amazing leaders that are going to jump on the call this morning and share all their golden nuggets. And we're going to start off with our incredible, incredible Sue Worrell, who's NMD in the business. We all know and love Sue. She's absolutely like the star of Juice Plus products and all the knowledge and everything. I always turn to her when I need anything. She's sick of me by now. So let me just tell you a little bit about Sue. So Sue Worrell, NMD in the business, been a nutritionist for over 30 years, running clinics in Cardiff and London, and she's been taking Juice Plus products for, I've updated this, I think it's around 20 years, is it Sue?
23
years, right? And she's absolutely glowing with it as well. And Sue's going to be sharing with us today all about our star products. So here she is. Thanks, Sue.
Thank you. I'll share my screen. Okay, just a second. Screen share. Can you all see the screen? Okay. Hi, everyone. I'm so thrilled to be here today because I've been really off the planet. I went for a run before Christmas at the very end of October, put my foot on a pothole and fell, and I damaged 3 discs. I've split one, I've torn one, and I've got one bulging disc. So I've been to a spine surgeon and I'm on regimes with a chiropractor and a physio, and this is me, and this has always been me, always active, and it's stopped me in my tracks. So it's driven me absolutely mad. And then I upped my Juice Plus, and but I had to go on painkillers. The pain was too bad to stand, and then the painkillers have given me a reaction. I never have a reaction to anything. Taking Juice Plus for all these years, you put some chemical stuff in your body, and there it just messes you up. So I had swollen hands. They're still a little bit puffy. I couldn't type, I couldn't text. So anyone who said happy birthday, thank you. I'm only just getting back to texting today, so I'll message people on Facebook, etc. And I'm just getting back on the computer. So this is me, so glad to be back. And I'm now going to tell you how to step into your power and fuel yourself with Juice Plus, because that's the most amazing, powerful fuel you could ever put in your bodies. We know we should be eating fruits and vegetables. We never eat enough. The quality is not good. And now there's a shortage every now and then because of the supplies and because of the war and because of Brexit and because of everything else. So we wouldn't put any old fuel in our cars, but we do put pretty much junky fuel in our bodies. And if we ruin our body, but we can buy a new car, but if we ruin our body like I've done with an accident, where else you're going to live? You need to have your body strong and with all your power stored in there, ready to run your business and live the best life ever. So our environment is more full of toxins than ever. We've got estuaries in our water, we've got air pollution, and we've got no artificial food being made. They're growing meat. They've got so many artificial versions of chicken and beef that you in a restaurant now, you sometimes don't know if you are eating artificial food. And we don't know what that does to us. We know heavily processed food damages our body, both now and long term. So we do not know yet what this artificially grown and created food is going to do to us. And the number of processed foods we're eating is huge in America, but in the UK, it's just as bad. So we need to really have a good look at that and go back to our lovely fruits and vegetables. And I'm sure most of you know that the more you take Juice Plus, the more your body craves fruits and vegetables. So it does help you keep on that track that people fall off. We know our microbiome is mega important to our life and our wellness and our immune system. And so Juice Plus is really good for our immune system. Someone asked me on Facebook, I hadn't a chance to answer, and messaged me and asked about carbohydrates in Juice Plus. So there are very, very, very little carbohydrates in the capsules. I think it's less than 2 calories per capsule. But even so, those carbohydrates are oligosaccharides, and I'll tell you more when I come to the complete about that. Our body is armed to look after ourselves, and this is a cancer cell in a very well lady, and because she was well and had a good diet, the cancer cell overtakes the T cell, the little pink pom-pom things you can see, overtakes the cancer cell, injects it with perforin, and our body heals itself. And that's what we want our body to do. We want to put the right fuel in to give our body the power to heal itself. So the other thing I love about Juice Plus is that it's holistic. It encourages everything else as well: exercise, sleep, stress, how to manage stress, hydration, mega important, and eating well and eat real food. We know the fuel we put in our body, if it's right and if it's what our body needs, can do all these things for us. So what we want to look at is nutrition, and which is the foundation of life. All these chemicals hit us every day, and if we try to shortcut it by dieting and fatty diets, we end up with our body full of toxins. If we clean all those toxins out and stop eating the bad things and put the good stuff in, we will get the body we want and the health and the energy we deserve. If anyone is new or doesn't yet understand Juice Plus, you should look up these videos. They are amazing. There's a guy called Manfred Lamfreck, Dr. Manfred, who was an amazing guy, and he was director of the Graz University Research Unit. He now interprets what the studies show in Juice Plus, because they can be quite scientific, and he interprets them beautifully to show us what it actually means to our body. So this one says we need 7 to 13. I've always said we need more than 10 and probably 20 at some points in our life of fruits, vegetables, and berries, and the right combination and variety. And that's what Juice Plus already does for us. In our flagship product, they've put the right combination and which gets the synergy, the orchestra effect for the 30 different fruit, vegetables, and berries. We've got the best ever certification of our product. Not many people get this. I said last time, and I'll say that again, that we had papaya here, and I had a little sticker there. It's moved. My little sticker's moved. The world supply of papaya was not up to scratch. It wasn't as good as it was. It was a shortage. So Juice Plus replaced the papaya with mango, which gives us more or less the same vitamins, minerals, and all the phytonutrients we need. So we don't want a huge amount of 1 or 2 vitamins and minerals. There are only about 19, I think, in total of the main ones. But we want the tiny micro amount of the micronutrients, the plant nutrients that plants hold for us. And these studies on our website will show you lots of information about what Juice Plus stuff has done for other people and what it does for us, and what the studies show us. We've also got an institute of research, and you need to go and have a look at that, because the ongoing research is astronomical and it will never stop. This is the certification. And when I first started working with sports people, the guys, the big players I was working with wanted to know, is it got a certification from Informed Choice? And it didn't then, but now it does. So we can proudly say that it's good for all sports. The Chews are, everybody knows about the Children's Health Study. If you don't, go and ask the person who's invited you on here how it works. It's the most amazing study. Before GDPR, we were able to use it as a proper study, and it was the only study in the world that studied the diet of children and the parents and the children, and it showed great results. So you can go and look that up. But it's a great program now, and it encourages mums and dads to get on and give it to the children. And they contain the same powders, but in a gelatine that is as pristine made as possible. Don't worry about the added bit of sugar in there. It's tons less than anything like a Mars bar or a Kit Kat or any of the other snacks they'll ever have. And it'll do them so much good, and it'll encourage them to eat more fruits and vegetables as they get older. Polyphenols have been shown to have a 30% reduction in mortality. We have got stacks of polyphenols. Our product is picked for its polyphenols. And if people only take the berries, that gives them a huge amount of polyphenols. I've used the berries and the complete to reverse people with diabetes and pre-diabetic. Works really well. This is a children's health study. You can go and look that up yourselves. So the complete range. This is a very comprehensive range. It suits different people for different things, how they live. The soups I use a lot in the winter. I used to use them for meetings and just get a Starbucks cup of tea without the tea bag and put my vegetable juice plus in there. The bars are great for sports people like golfers or even cyclists. Better for golfers because cyclists are harder to digest and move there better with complete. And the complete can be used so many versatile ways, like making scones and pancakes and all different kinds of smoothies. And there's newsletters and lots of recipes on the website about that. And while I'm on complete, I'll talk about the oligosaccharides, because oligosaccharides are found is the sugars found in fruits and vegetables. And they are really powerful, and they help our microbiome thrive and multiply. And that is not the same as the added processed sugar. When people see how much sugar is in juice, things like complete, don't worry about it. You have to explain that the sugar that's added is there because we have to add it for a meal replacement. And that sugar is offset by the huge amount of fiber in there. And the other sugars are really good for them because it actually helps weight loss because the microbiome works more efficiently. So our complete range is absolutely spot on and brilliant to start the day. As I said, the bars are great for sport, and they're great for busy mums or busy workers to rather than eat one of those than grab a McDonald's or something horrible for lunch. This is really good for casseroles and food as well. I use it in some soups, and I use it when I make casseroles, and it's great in curries. So it gives it a bit of thickness and it gives it a base, and you've got even more nutrition in there while you're eating your enjoyable food. The boosters, I very seldom use the boosters. They're very good for people who have got a lot of weight to lose and are missing the feeling of being full. So it makes you feel full. That glucomannan looks like a pineapple. It's not. It's a complete root that grows, and they use the root, and that root is used to make things like calorie-free noodles. And it also is very good at lowering cholesterol. So I have added to quite a few people's diet who've got very high cholesterol. It does help with that. The green tea then is a bit of a pick-me-up, and the oat oil is another one that helps you get fuller. Omegas, I'm doubling up and more on my omegas because they're brilliant anti-inflammatory project. The new omegas, I haven't got new ones yet. The last ones I got delivered weren't the new ones. So I'm really looking forward to getting some of the new ones, which are even more improved. And they've got some extra ingredients in there, which and vitamin D3 is one of them. And the thing about adding vitamin D3, it doesn't seem like there's a lot of it, but when you put it together with the omegas, it has this synergy. And when our body you put food in our body that has this synergy, they all help each other get absorbed, digested, and used. So our omegas are untouchable by anyone else on the planet. The other thing I love about them is that they do not interrupt our oceans. They are made from the omega-3 is made from Schittachetrum, which is the algae that fish eat to get their omega-3. And they don't have to grow it in the sea, and then they can grow it on land. It's not cheap to grow. Like everything, we use the best ingredients, but it gives us the best and the most pure omega-3. So that's our fantastic omegas. Uplift, I've got warm Uplift this morning with a bit of hot water in it. Couldn't be without it at the moment. It's really giving me the energy for the day when it's hard to walk and I've been in a lot of pain. And it's been my lifesaver. It's been able to make me keep on going as much as I could. So this is full of fantastic ingredients, and we all get short of B vitamins, particularly women around menopause and sometimes in pregnancy and pre and postnatal. And B vitamins we get low in, and it's got an amazing combination of B vitamins which you should, I'm not going to read all these out, but you can find that online. You can read that out and you can see how many systems and how many little aches and pains and things we get that the B vitamins are the solution to. So love my uplift, couldn't be better. And all the time we've been doing Juice Plus, we've had the complete, but it's not been a real protein shake for the gym bunnies and the guys who want more protein. And I've always thought that if we did that, it would be very good for ladies, because we don't want to over protein. We don't need as much, ladies don't need as much protein as men. But we do know that exercise really works and is a very, very important part of our health and our Juice Plus regime. And now we've got this fantastic Perform, which is easily absorbable. It's grown, it's made from completely plant and no GMO ingredients. It's completely vegan. It's got B5 in it and other natural occurring B vitamins, completely plant-based. And the soya it's made from is top quality, pristine soya. Soya is like two different animals. It's the one that's very cheap and often found in some cheaper milks and other soya products. Is not pristinely grown. It's not cold water washed, and it doesn't have this protein bit cleaned. And that's the one that has the bad reputation. So soya is the best protein for humans. It's got all the 22 amino acids, and we absorb it and use it brilliantly. And it is really good for women, and it's good for if you're on a diet or if you need energy. Don't overdo it, but it's great to mix with your Juice Plus Complete, or take the Complete before and the Perform after. I use it with depending on what regimes people are doing, what they're looking for, and I mix it in different ways. So anyone asks you about the soya, you quote this, look at this slide and quote this slide and explain to them why there's nothing wrong with ours, and look at the boxes it ticks when it comes to performance and energy and muscle building and protein building for your body and getting the body you deserve. So our products are the best altogether. We still have got nothing in the world to touch them. Some people do some fruits and veg that are almost as good, but the amount of actual powdered product we put in ours is higher than anyone's. So that's our products, and don't ever worry about what you're giving people or telling them about. It's the best that you can do for them. I've got something called the Health Hub Academy. There's free membership there. If anyone wants to go in, there's lots of information in there. It's been a bit quiet lately, but it's going to zoop up again with more information. So if you want to go in and get any free information, go to healthhubacademy.com and join our free membership. That's me. Thank you very much.
Sue, thank you so much. As always, that was absolutely incredible. Even after taking the products for over 8 years, every time I hear you speaking, I get even more excited about taking them. And I always learn something new every single time as well. So thank you so much. And everyone, can you put a thank you in the chat, and also your top takeaway from Sue's amazing presentation just now? And do you have a guest at all, Sue?
Constant.
No, I don't, I'm afraid. I haven't been in touch with, I've just been basically in touch lately. And most of my people work on Saturday morning. Most of my active people are in clinics and they work Saturday morning, so it's not easy.
No problem, no problem. James,
Constance is on.
Constance. Okay.
Oh, lovely. I love Constance. I did talk for Constance.
Constance, are you there?
She said she was just getting ready.
Oh, when you're ready, if you can just unmute
Very
yourself.
short notice, so I'm not sure. We might have to bring her in a little bit later on, but she's on. She's on. I can see her.
Oh,
Come on, here she is.
Hey, hi, Constance.
Hi, Constance. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you, everyone. Happy new month. What a way to start the month of April with this morning session. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. So thank you so much for a wonderful presentation. Thank you, Paula. Thank you, James, for inviting me for this beautiful morning Zoom. My name is Constance Ahamusi. I'm a mom of 4 kids, and also I'm Presidential Marketing Director. Plus, in the business, I joined 7 years ago. What actually attracted me to join the business is the products Sue just talked about right now. You know, few years ago, I was that mother that I'm always so tired. My health was not in good shape. And I could remember going to my doctors and my GP said, you need to do something. I was actually borderline diabetes then. And what he said, you need to lose some weight. You need to maintain a healthy lifestyle. And that was actually what attracted me to start looking for a solution, to start looking for a healthy option. Lo and behold, one day I was on Facebook and I saw my upline sharing this wonderful natural medicine. She was sharing it and I was so, I was so adamant to know what she was talking about until one day I went to see a nutritionist. We opened my eye to say, you know what, we need more fruits and vegetables. So I came back, I did wonderful research on this beautiful products, and that was how I started my journey. I got to get the capsules, which is the premium capsules we talked about right now, which is 30 fruits and vegetables. I have them here. I don't need them. James, I don't know if you want to put me on the, so I can show people.
Put you on what?
Yeah, okay, that's fine, that's fine. Both people are seeing me, right?
Yep.
Okay, beautiful. So that was actually, this first product was what I started with the shakes. So I started with the shakes and the protective bundles. Then when you buy, you can get your children one for free, the healthy stuff for family. I actually got for my kids for free. And we all started, we made a lot of healthy lifestyle changes in my house, the children, everybody, my husband, it's just the whole family. We started on those products and lo and behold, we got brilliant results. 2 weeks on the product, no medical claims here. I started drinking more water, doing exercise, eating healthier, taking the shake to replace 2 meals a day and taking these capsules every day. And I saw a lot of changes in my health. The first thing I saw was energy. I still have the energy today. People like, Torsten, where do you get your energy from? This product helped me a lot. And in 2 weeks of using the product, I lost like 5 kg of my weight. And I was so happy about it, And when I now called my upline, I could remember I called her, she said, oh, I'm loving this product. The product is so good. She said, why not join the business? And that was actually how I got involved to share this amazing product to a lot of people today, to help them enjoy what I've enjoyed. Okay, we've been able to build customer base. We've been able to help support people as well to join this business as well, and also to help, replicating the whole thing that we do, inspiring healthy living around the world. So if somebody have invited you here today, all you need to do is join and start your healthy journey and help others, because we need more people right now to do the same thing we are doing, to help inspire healthy living, to help your family, to help your friends, to help them get healthier. The world needs us most now. This product is one of the best products in the market. Whole food, 30 fruits and vegetables. You cannot get them anywhere. You know what, my hands, there is no day I wake up, when taking this product, my whole body is so happy because I know what it's doing my health right now, my children's health, my family's health, my customers, my clients, also my partners as well. Lots of testimonies. When you start eating more fruits and vegetables, you will see a lot of things will change in your health. So I just want to encourage somebody today. If somebody have invited you, or if you're already in, you are in for life, like somewhere I'm in for life. So let's do this together, and I will see you shining and flourishing again with this beautiful, amazing product that we have. Thank you so much, James.
Constance, thank you so much.
You're welcome, Paula.
Absolutely amazing Saturday morning energy there. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
So as Constance said, you just have to just take the products and just join. You've got to get the benefits. Everybody does. And I feel like I'm kind of quiet now after you. But so everyone give a big thank you to Constance, and thank you for coming on and sharing your story. Have a wonderful day. And we're next going to go into the lovely Kelly Quick, who's also an NMD in the business. And Kelly became a Juice Plus customer in November 2020. Fell in love with the products, as Constance did and everyone else does, and within 3 weeks joined the business. And at that time, she was trying to save a traditional business that was struggling in the pandemic and holding down a full-time temporary call center job she needed to supplement her struggling business, all whilst juggling a 3-year-old in lockdown. So if she can do it, anyone can do it. So basically, Kelly quickly came addicted to evening calls, helping people get healthy, and with her DMO, and within 3 months in the business, she hit SSC. No, 5 months in the business, she hit SSC. So after attending her first convention in Harrogate, October 2021, Kelly was so inspired by everyone that she heard speak, and especially by Simon Bowler, and started herself a 90-day game plan. You've heard about 90-day game plans. That's what really helps in our business. And within 90 days, she'd hit QNMD. And then she's rose on to NMD. Are you there, Kelly?
I am. Good morning.
Hi, how are you? Are you going to share the roadmap to Rio?
I am, yeah. I'm not sure how I'm going to follow Constance's energy, but
that's exactly what I was feeling.
So yeah, thank you so much for asking me to come on. And morning, everyone. Happy April. I hope you had the most incredible March and are all celebrating lots of success. And I hope you've got really exciting plans for April. And hopefully that includes gathering at those points for Rio. So for me, my goal has always been, since I started the business, PMD 2025. The fact that the company have now given us Vision 2025 and Rio on top of that is just absolutely insane. It's the most incredible tool that we've been gifted to raise new leaders into our businesses. And so for me, as soon as I heard them announce it in Lisbon, it was just, yeah, it's the best gift ever. And I think if you want to be one of those leaders, if you're sat here now as a partner in the business, just joined on the £1 sign up, or if you've been in the business for a while and you're SP, SC, QSSC, it's so important that you grasp this opportunity and become that NMD yourself. And, you know, for me, I want to take as many NMDs to Rio with me as possible. I just want to go back to Mallorca. So as Paula said, I joined the business in November 2020. Harrogate was my first ever convention. I remember sitting in that room. I get goosebumps every time I talk about Harrogate. But I remember on the Sunday, the lights went down. It went really dark, and they brought up the video on the big screen of the incentive to go to Mallorca. And I remember watching it and thinking, I'm going to qualify for that. I'm going to hit QNMD in January. That's going to qualify me for it. And that was just immediately what I had in my head. And that was the plan I left. So I left Harrogate, created the 90-day plan, as Paula said. And the mission would be that January, sorry, the sun's coming in. I'm not going to complain about the sun, but it's blinding me right now. Hopefully you can still see me. But yeah, so my mission was QNMD, and that would get me to qualify for Mallorca. So let me know, can you just drop some emojis like planes, sunshines, palm trees, if you are going to go to Rio. But there was just a little bit of me, I'm being completely honest now, as a mum to a 3-year-old that was a little bit petrified about going to Mallorca as well. Like the practicalities and the thought of leaving a 3-year-old and flying to another country and, you know, leaving her, I was a little bit afraid of. And I just want to share that in case there's anybody else that's feeling that way. Do not let that hold you back. You want to make sure that you're absolutely 100% going for Rio. It's 2 years away. You don't know how you're going to feel in 2 years' time. You want to have that choice about whether you're there or not, though. So do not let it hold you back. If anyone's feeling that way, 100% have your plan in place, secure your place, and then you know you can see how you feel then. But our business is about duplication, and so you need to show up as that leader that's going to be there, and your team are going to replicate your energy and they're going to replicate your actions. And if you're not going for it, it's almost going to squash it for your team. So it's really important that you are chasing this incredible opportunity. I want to talk a little bit about how Mallorca helped me and helped my business. So for me, qualifying for it, being able to shout about it, helping my team qualify for it, celebrating their success for it, gave us incredible content. It gave us credibility as a successful team. It gave us lots of things to shout about. It gave us lots of excitement. But it really helped. So I've got 2 fairly new SSCs in the business now. They're in each other's teams. We've got one SSC and another one underneath that SSC. Now, the first SSC underneath me, she was in the business at the time that I qualified for Mallorca. It wasn't something that she was going for. She hadn't been in the business for very long. It wasn't necessarily on her agenda to go for it, but she shouted about that opportunity. She shouted about the fact that people were going to Mallorca. She shouted about the fact that when we were out there, she was showing, you know, everything that we were doing when we were out there. She was packing out her stories with it. And as a consequence, she signed up somebody in her team because she saw all of us out in Mallorca having this incredible time. And she joined the business because she wanted that life. She wanted those incentives. She's now an SSC in the business. And I have no doubt that they will be with me in Rio as NMDs as a consequence, and they will be doing exactly the same, and their team are going to be doing exactly the same. They're going to be sharing their experience in Rio, their team are going to be sharing what they're doing, and as a consequence, they're going to attract people. So the knock-on effect of these incentives is absolutely incredible. Sorry, I just want to check that my notes, make sure I'm covering everything. So your team are going to duplicate what you're doing. So it's really important that you believe that you can achieve this incredible incentive, and that you show up in your team chats and in your content and on your evening calls with that absolute belief that you can do it. I loved when we were in Lisbon and they announced this incentive, they asked everyone in the room to stand up if they achieved NMD in 2 years. And honestly, there were so many people stood up in that room that day that had achieved NMD within the 2-year period. So if you're sat here as a partner now, signed up on a £1 deal, you've got 2 years to achieve this. You 100% can achieve NMD in time for Rio, which is absolutely amazing. I achieved it in 20 months. Nesh, who's my mentor, I think she did it in around 16, 17 months. Emma Leyland, who's my mentor's mentor, she did it in 12 months. We all worked really, really hard. Like, you can't underestimate how hard you need to work to be able to achieve NMD in that period of time. But what I'm saying is that it can be done. And as Paula said at the beginning of this, for me, I had a full-time business that had been massively impacted by the pandemic. As a consequence, it was losing money. It wasn't making money. So I had to take a full-time job whilst juggling a very hectic 3-year-old with no childcare in place. So if I can get to NMD in 20 months around that lifestyle, I feel that anyone can do it if you really, really want it and you're willing to put the work in no matter what. I was also going through a relationship breakdown, and I just think it sounds really harsh to say it, but all excuses are equal. If you really, really want this, you 100% can do it, and just really work on your belief and just get to work. Surround yourself in visualization. So for me, on my goal board, you've got some, I've got all the beautiful pictures of Rio on there. On my, I visualize it every single day. On my screensavers, I've got images of Rio. I spend a lot of time in WhatsApp, the back image of WhatsApp. I've got images of Rio. I've got Christ the Redeemer statue there. So when I'm scrolling, talking to my team, anybody, I constantly see the statue there. Like, I visualize. Now, I don't visualize hand gliding, but I've watched videos of hand gliding, helicopter rides, all of these different things. Like, I picture me being in Rio, stood at the statue, having my photograph taken. Like, it's so, so important. Visualizations, so amazing for helping you to achieve your goals. After attending Mallorca, I vowed that I would never, ever miss a travel incentive, because the experience and what you gain is so, so incredible. And I just wanted to share some of the benefits that you get when you're attending these sorts of events. The content I've obviously talked about, which is absolutely incredible. The friendships are so, so precious. Like, the friendships that you build on those sorts of opportunities. You know, I was really, really lucky with Mallorca. Not only did we have the 2 nights that head office had paid for, but Emma had also put on an additional incentive, and we got to stay at the most beautiful villa. And just our friendships that formed and community from there was absolutely incredible. You know, we had boat parties, white parties. Lisbon, we had the most insane party there, and just the friendships and relationships that you build for collaboration and sharing. Like, you know, I'm partnered now with Jane Mabley. We did an event recently, but we met at events, and I just, you know, it's so important to build those friendships. Your belief in the business will grow. Somebody could say the worst thing about this company and it would just bounce off of me, because I tap into all of the events, all of the calls, all of the travel incentives, and my posture and belief in this incredible company is so strong that the negativity will literally just bounce off of me. And, you know, you get that from attending these sorts of incentives. The memories that you're going to make are going to stay with you forever. I've got the most precious memories from attending all of these events. So, you know, that's going to stay in your heart forever, which is really, really precious. What employers do we know that are out there currently that are offering these sorts of incentives? It doesn't exist in the normal corporate world. So we are so, so lucky to have this. I'm just checking my notes. I just want to check on it. I've got a couple of other things that I want to go with. I just want to talk about, so I have, this is not me bragging, but I've already hit the points required for stage 1 for Rio. And I just want to share the kind of approach that I had to it. So before I remember sitting on the plane on the runway in Lisbon, sat next to Jane Mabley, and we had screenshots of the screen from the event in Lisbon. And I was literally sat there with a pen and paper, working out what promotions I would have achieved within my team by February. I knew who wanted to achieve what, I knew who was showing up, I knew who was working, and I just focused on helping them to achieve their promotions. And then when I had my one-to-ones with them, I focused on how many customers they needed, how many teamies they needed, how many promotions they were going to get. And I just worked very strategically. So I decided before we'd taken off on that runway in Lisbon that I was going to have achieved the minimum points required for stage 1 by the end of February. And I just made that decision, and then I put a plan in place as to how I was going to do it. And that's quite excessive to do it in 2 months, but we've got what, 5 months left now? Think about those 5 months. This month, how many customers do you need to sign up? How many team members do you need to sign up? Look at your PB, or look at, you know, how many promotions you need to achieve. How many points is that going to give you? What points are you going to have left, and how are you going to break that down over the remaining months? It feels like it's a really long way away. Just break it down and simplify it as best as you can for your scenarios. But just really believe that you can do this. Everyone can be there in Rio if you want to be there. And this is such an incredible tool to propel your business between now and getting to Rio, and for the future after Rio as well. So just feel really excited. Hopefully I've shared some of my excitement with you and got that across. And thank you very much.
Kelly, thank you so much. My gosh, I just love that. Just all the way that, and it all just boils down to your self-belief and just making those goals and just going for it. And you're an absolute testament that, like, when you do that, it absolutely works. So congratulations for all your success and all the team that you're going to be taking off to Rio with you. So thanks so much for that. And everyone, if you can please pop in the chat a big thank you to Kelly, and also your top takeaway from her amazing presentation. Have you got a guest, or are we going straight on to Sarah Rogers?
Yes.
I've got a guest. So I have got the lovely Sarah, who I've known for a very long time. We used to work together in the corporate world, and Sarah contacted me actually off the back of Harrogate, where I've been sharing that event, and she saw all of the fun we were having and the success we were having. And she didn't join my team until November last year. So I'm just sharing that because I want you to know, stay consistent. They say that the fortune is in the follow-up. Just keep contacting people, keep engaging with them. Sarah lives out in Dubai. There was an event in Dubai, and I asked her to go and have a listen, And eventually she gave in and she joined my team. And just a few months later, I'm being a little bit naughty sharing this now, but she did qualify as SC yesterday, which is incredible. So please show her some love in the chat. So she joined in November. She's now an SC. She's got a great team in the UK and out in the UAE, which is really, really exciting. So I'm going to get her on now to share her journey. Hopefully she's there. I've seen her. So it's Sarah Rogers. If you unmute yourself, Sarah, and speak, it might make it a bit easier to find you.
There we are. Hello. Let me know when I'm on.
You are on.
Okay, hello. Thank you very much. Well, I'm definitely pumped for Rio now. Thanks, babe. As if I wasn't pumped before. It's been on my bucket list forever, and I've done so much traveling, and Rio's just been there. And when Juice Plus dropped this, I was like, oh my God. So yeah, I'm gonna be there, even though I'm like bottom of the ladder at the moment. I'm gonna get there. So yeah, I joined Juice Plus in November and did very, very little with it until, to be honest with you, January. I wasn't a customer. I was one of these that was watching Kelly and watching her success and thinking, oh, I'd quite like a bit of that. Now, I was on maternity leave, and I'm working really, or did work in big senior leadership roles, but I wanted something that I could do where I don't want to leave Isaac, my little 2-year-old, when he goes to school. I want to be there. I want to be that mum. So I don't want to be back in the corporate world. So Juice Plus for me is very different to, I think, what I've seen from others who've started on the products and thought, oh, well, I'd like to, maybe I can flog it to a few friends. For me, I'm like, I want to really try and see if I can make a career out of this. I didn't even think about taking the products myself, to be perfectly honest with you, because I'm healthy, I look after myself, I'm one of these, I think I'm doing great. So January, I thought, if I'm actually going to do this, let's just do it properly and give it a go. So I started all this DMO, and I was thinking, oh, is it really going to work? I don't really know many people on Facebook and but off I went. I started posting, I started adding friends, and everybody that added me, I started sending them a little message just saying, look, I've started this new business and you might be interested in some of my posts. I'm all about healthy lifestyle. And people started messaging me back and saying, oh, well done, good luck. And I also told them, oh, well, I've got, I'm starting a team, so maybe you'd be interested in joining me. And I started getting messages about that as well. And I was like, oh, hold on a minute, this is like quite good feeling. So I was nervous about adding strangers, I won't lie. You just think, oh, every time I press add friend, I'm like, whoa, what are they going to think of me? But yeah, when people start messaging you and adding you, then it all becomes a bit less, I don't know, scary. So I started making sales. I sold to a few family, and then all of a sudden I started getting messages from people who I don't even know. Like, genuinely, I did a little bit of went through all my sales earlier. Over 40, actually 42% of my sales are people I've never met before. I don't know them, they don't know me, but they've been following my journey. So I just think that's amazing. All I want to do is help people. I want to help people to be healthy. I'm not doing any harm to anybody. I'm going to make my own business by helping people live a healthier life. I don't need to lose weight myself, so I can't advertise that. But in January, I started taking the capsules, and I gave up my very high quality multivitamin that I have been taking for years and years. And I was very nervous about it, I won't lie, but I thought, if I'm going to actually do this myself and promote to people about a healthy lifestyle and these Juice Plus products, then I need to totally believe in it myself. So off I went. I started taking, I got the Protective Plus bundle. And well, I'm genuinely still now quite surprised at the changes. So I got really bad acne after I had my son. It was maybe hormonal, we don't really know, I'll never really know. Maybe down to nutrition. I thought I was really, really looking after myself. But within 3 weeks of me taking those capsules and giving up taking my multivitamin, my skin completely cleared up, and I don't have any spots anymore. And I was just literally mesmerized with that. And so that gives me obviously something to shout about. I mean, it's hard, it's when you don't have anything yourself, but now I am oh my goodness, I have got more energy, I'm sleeping better from the omegas, like there's just, my hair is so long, like everything. So I'm like, wow, this is incredible, everybody needs to be taking these. I started a team quite early on as well, so I was really lucky. One of my school friends messaged me and she was like, oh Sarah, what's this you're doing? I need to make some extra cash. And I was like, well, let's do it then, join up, I don't mind. And since then, I've sort of realized how successful you can be when you grow a team. And so I really want to grow this business. And so I can't do it on my own. I need to have a team to support me, but also then I get a little bit of extra job satisfaction, as it were, because I'm helping them make money and grow a business for themselves as well. So I've got a lot out of this, out of growing a team. I've now got one, I'm really proud of this. So I've had 2 promotions from my team this month, 1 partner plus, and I've got 1 senior partner, and I've also got 5 partners. 4 of them I've never met before. I didn't know them before, but they're just people who've messaged me on Facebook and been like, Sarah, can I find out a little bit more information about this? I'm like, well, yeah, of course you can. So I'm really enjoying that side of it. I mean, it's nice to have people there to support you as well. And obviously I am very, very, very lucky in that I'm part of Kelly's wider team as well. So we are, you know, obviously a very good group of people who are all, you know, we're smashing it, we're going to smash it. We're all very, very positive. So I think having that around you, having people working with you, the wider team is just so important. So if you've just started, don't think, oh, I don't think I've got the confidence to actually have somebody on my team. Like I just need to do this for myself. You'll help each other and you'll all like work together. So don't leave that side of things to ones. Don't think, oh, I'll just sell the products for now and I'll look to getting a team later. My advice to you would be get growing that team. That's how I've got to where I am right now, is by having the support of my team's success. And just shout about everything, keep posting. If you don't get any responses, if you get people saying, oh, no, thank you, don't worry, they'll come back to you. I've had 3 people now that have come back to me who said, oh, sorry, you know, thanks very much for your message, but not for me. 2.5 months later, you know, you messaged me, do you think I could have a bit more information? One of them, to be fair, is still not a customer, but I'll keep working on it. But yeah, it's just, I think, stick with it. Trust the process, as we all keep getting told, because it works. It's magical when you help somebody, and getting those messages from your customers saying, thank you, Sarah, I've lost, I think my customers lost like 9 kilos now, somebody I've been working since January, and she's like, it's all down to you, thank you. And it's so rewarding. Don't think of it as a sales thing. Don't think, oh, I'm hassling people, I'm selling things. Just think, I'm helping people to change their lives. I'm helping people to become more healthy, and there is nothing wrong with that. I've probably used up all my time, Cal. Sorry, you were like, 2, you've got a couple of minutes.
Sarah, thank you so much. And huge congratulations for your promotion. And that's amazing. You just kind of put your foot down in January, and a couple of months later, you've already gone up to SC. So huge congratulations. Can everyone put congratulations in the chat there for Sarah? And there's no doubt that you're going to go up to the top. Your energy is absolutely infectious, and your work ethic, everything about you. So amazing. Well done. Thanks for sharing. And we're now going to move on to Stevie McGuigan. I think I said that right, Stevie, hopefully, who's an IMD in the business. And I'm just going to share a little bit about him. So 9 years ago, I was doing door-to-door sales and working in the Forex department for Amex. Since then, I've gone from sleeping on a friend's floor to 6 figures and traveling the world. And Juice Plus has allowed me a life of freedom and flexibility, stress-free living that I had never tasted before. So Stevie, are you there?
Hey, you good?
Hey, how are you?
Hey, I'm well, thanks. How's things?
Good, good. Right, fire away.
I can see James was
yeah, absolutely. I'm so excited to have you on. Fantastic.
I love that. Appreciate it. Just before I kick off, it was so funny when James messaged me the other day, and he asked me for a bio. And you know, 9 years of doing this, I don't think I've ever designed one. So it kind of hit me in the spot there, and I had to give you this little abbreviation of what's happened for me. But yeah, what are you after? You just looking for me to tell my story, or?
Well, I mean, tell us basically, I mean, your success and your recipe for making the progress that you've made.
Cool. So I'll expand on the made up bio just a little bit, because there's a hell of a lot more to that. So I think it's important to understand where I've maybe came from to where I am now. So I actually just celebrated 9 years in the business last weekend, and I didn't even realise on the day, because it's been that long now. I'm one of these lifers like James. So I hear I'm getting towards the 10-year mark, and it's been an absolute whirlwind. But with every passing year, I think it gives us time to reflect and look back at what once was a completely different life, and that's what it was like for me. So I think a lot of people that are maybe new in this journey or newer might be able to relate to the position that I was in. So I was 23 years old when I found the opportunity, and as the bio said, I was working in door-to-door sales. Now, if anybody doesn't know what that is, I mean, it's in the description, but I was one of these dudes knocking on your door, selling you Sky TV, signing you up for a charity that you probably couldn't afford, or giving you an alarm system for a house that was all pretty much secure. And do you know what? I loved it. It was great because I'm a sociable person. I love speaking to people. However, it got to a stage after a lot of hard work, determination, and sacrifice, I got to what I like to call the ceiling. And even though I loved it, I just had a little girl at the time, so I'm a dad as well. And at 23 years old, there was a lot of financial pressure on me, a lot of pressure in general when I was working at one stage 11 to 11, having a bit of a champagne lifestyle at the weekend. And it literally was eat, sleep, rave, repeat every single week. And I think anybody can get to a stage where they just start to think, is this it? So I was looking for something, I was looking for the opportunity. And back then we didn't even have Zoom, so there would be no information calls like this. I was old school. All we had was Facebook. And I guess it was just out of boredom, really, when maybe you've come home at night yourself and you've seen someone post about this opportunity. But I was just scrolling. And I seen a couple of really vibrant, excited girls that were just talking about the future and talking about these really cool things. And growing up in Glasgow, unless you were really born into success, this was never really a thing. So anyway, curiosity killed the cat, and I messaged them both. I said, what's this thing you're doing? One of them was an accountant, and she was banging on about going to New York twice in 2 months, having these amazing bonuses. And I thought, my dad's an accountant and he doesn't earn that much money. So that is what got me hooked in. So we had a conversation. She put me in touch with the other girl as well, and we met for a coffee. Now, this is probably my favourite part of my own story. Everybody's totally different, but at that time of my life, I had completely lost everything. So all the savings had went. I was paying members of staff to help keep them in job because the company just went pot. So I was desperate. That John Holliwaty always says that this business is built out of inspiration or desperation, and at that particular time, for me, it was desperation. But nonetheless, I turned up to that meeting with a suit. I looked at $1 million. You would think that I was conducting an interview. But I had a very, very brief chat with the girl at the time who was my upline. I didn't know anything about nutrition. I didn't know anything about these products. I thought that I was going to be like the Betterware salesperson. Have you ever had one of them come to your door? The person that used to always leave the catalogues at my grandparents' house? That's what I thought we were doing. But I was interested in how excited they were about the future, how excited they were about changing their own personal circumstances. And literally the conversation must have lasted 10 minutes. And I said, right, where do I sign? She said, I can sign you up right now. Do you have your bank card? Now, what she didn't know at the time was I had like 60 quid in my bank account. And we had a meeting in Starbucks. And if you've ever been to Starbucks, you know it's the most expensive place for coffee in the world. So I just paid for the 2 cappuccinos, and I went to pay my £50 franchise fee at the time. And I was sweating because I thought it was going to decline. I thought, how embarrassing is this going to be coming to this business meeting? But the universe had my back and it went through. But luckily for people that you'll be speaking to at the moment, it's £1 if you're in the United Kingdom or Ireland. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, I walked out of that meeting with nothing but a dream. And I think I had maybe 2 to 10 pence in my bank account, ready to share this opportunity with the world. And that's all I did. You've heard some of the stories already. What we do isn't rocket science. It's just about sharing and recommending and sharing and recommending. And I could keep everyone here all day and tell the rest of the story. But I think what you need to understand from that is that if you have a belief in the bigger picture, you're going to go somewhere in this business, and everybody's said it so far. Everyone is working towards something. Now, I won't lie, and I think it's important for people to know that I did start because I wanted to earn extra money. That definitely there's a place in today's society, in today's economy, for earning extra income. I think I seen, don't quote me on this and don't hold me at standard, but I seen a statistic that over 46% of people in the United Kingdom are open, or at least are having a side income. And that's a lot bigger than it's been in years gone past. So it's very, very relevant now. And even loving what we do and having a great lifestyle and great income, the cost of living hits everyone. Do you know, things are going up, price of fuel, price of vegetables, price of fruits. Do you know, guess what? We have a health product that has fruits and vegetables. It's never made more sense. We have an income opportunity to help subsidise a more expensive lifestyle. It's never made more sense. So 9 years in the game, and it didn't start off well for me, as you just heard there. I was a bit of a slow burner. I wasn't like Kelly super quick, could absolutely smashed it. It took me a little while to get going. But once I did, the world and the game completely changed for me. And I would say that the turning point for me was going to my first convention. So Barcelona 2014. I'm not sure if Howard was there. I'm sure James was. A couple on this call might have been there back in the day. And I was just completely blown away. So if you haven't got a ticket for an event yet, I'm going to tell you right now, please get one. Because when you go there and you're in a room with people that are like-minded, that are chasing goals, that are thinking about their future, their family's future, something magic happens. And that's what happened for me that day. And this was the part of the sleeping bag bio. So not only did I start the business a little bit before that, but things continued to go south because I didn't hit the ground running with the Juice Plus company with this opportunity. And I'd split up with my partner at the time, my daughter's mother, and I was staying in a friend's house on a spare room and wooden floorboards and a sleeping bag. I actually borrowed money from my family member to get to that event in Barcelona. Now, I'm not saying anybody needs to go and get loans or get themselves into debt, but I just had this whatever it takes attitude because I was told about how exciting the event would be. I think I just missed Nice when I signed up, and I could see the buzz in everybody else. Like, I'm even listening to Kelly, I'm buzzed the fact that she's talking about Rio. We're all getting to go to Rio. It's there for anybody can achieve it. And I really bought into that whole idea and concept about the future because I never had it before. So I made the extra effort to get to Barcelona. And that's when the journey really started to begin, you know. And year on year, Payline grew, my team grew. I brought people in. I've linked up with people I've never met before that have joined my team. I've had some amazing years. I've had countless promotions. You know, I've earned perhaps in 1 month more money than I had in an entire year in my last day job. So things like that are really, really cool. But I think for me, with 9 years of reflection, the thing that I adore the most is the complete and unadulterated freedom. And just there's something in your posture and the way you move when you have that freedom and flexibility, and you don't have that in kind of many paid roles that exist in the world today. And I always think back what it was like when I was working 9 to 5. Now, listen, I totally take my hats off for people that are still doing the grind and still doing the graft, but it's been so long since I've actually did it. And I remember when I was working on that Forex floor, phoning companies in London, and I was earning American Express millions and millions of pounds. I was counting down the hours every single day. Do you know, we had a little coin on the computer we'd put in front of the clock so we wouldn't watch the clock. But in my head, I knew exactly when it was because I could tell by the sun. And that's not a way to live when you're counting down the hours and you're just doing the same thing every day. So I think not only can this company give you the health that we have through an amazing bulletproof product, not only can it give you the ability to earn a fantastic second income, but it can give you the ability to dream again. And it's something that a lot of us lose when we start to transition from our younger years into adult life, into just tackling on the world and having jobs. And that is what single-handedly what I love the most. And second to that would be the ability to share it with everybody else. And right now, why wouldn't you be excited? Do you know, there's an incentive for Thailand. We've got our own team incentive as well for Marbella. We've got Rio coming up. We've got a convention in October. I don't know if anybody knows where it is. I do, though. I'm not sure if I'm allowed to tell, but it's in one of my favourite places in the United Kingdom. So please please keep the end of October off if you haven't done that already, because it will just completely change the game for you. And I know within my team, the people that have had the best success are the ones that have turned up to events and been part of that energy and the magic. And I've met James at so many events as well, and I think that it's just different from the easy thing for people that don't see what we see is to say, yeah, but I can do this anyway. I can go to this place. I could go to Rio. I could pay for it. I could go and do this with my own job. It is entirely different because you're in a room of people that are going to force you to level up in their health, level up in your mindset, level up in your finances as well. And that's why I love events so much. Even jumping on a call like this, I think it keeps you accountable, it keeps the fire lit, and it keeps you dreaming and focusing on the future. So that's kind of where I'm at just now. I'm just really excited about the next few years. And if I could give one takeaway before I close off is, no matter what position you're at, believe in the bigger picture, because income's great, health is great, you know, being part of a team is great, but being involved in the bigger picture in your own space is what's going to keep you going through thick and thin, no matter what happens to you. I've always maintained that since I went to that event, that convention in Barcelona, I'm not just here for 5 months to earn an NMD bonus. I'm not just here for a year to earn a certain figure or to do something, go on holiday. I'm in this game for 25 years because I know in that window, so many things are going to happen as long as I'm persistent. So that's my top tip. Absolutely go for
it. Fantastic, Stevie. Amazing. Now, I think we've got Erin coming on in a moment, but I know that you have got a guest.
Yes, I do. I've got a very special person, and I selected her because she's doing really well right now and she's got an amazing product story. But what's really interesting about Lisa Hanna is how she's managed to be in my team. And many, many moons ago, I actually brought a girl into my business, and anybody can do this, right? I just did reconstructive knee surgery. I was lying on a sofa bed. I called it the man cave at the time, and I couldn't do anything other than work this business. And I remember I'd been chatting to this girl about the business for a long time. You've heard these stories already about people asking people to join, and it takes a little time. But I told this girl, I said, if you don't sign up, I'm going to sign up your best friend, and then she's going to sign you up anyway. And she said, no, you won't. So I did, because I do what I say I'm going to do. And I signed up a girl called Priscilla, who then signed up Maria, the girl I spoke about. But Priscilla also brought into the business a girl called Louise, and Louise brought into the business a girl called Lisa Hanna. And none of us had ever met before. So that's the magic in sharing the opportunity. So without further ado, I'll get Lisa to jump on and share her little story. Lisa, you there?
I am indeed. Have I managed to unmute myself properly?
Yeah, you're all good.
Grand. Thanks for inviting me on this morning. I've been part of the company for 2 years now. That was after using the products myself for 4 months because my health was just in an absolute state. I come from the health and beauty industry, so I'm a very hard girl to convince about products like this. But within the 4 months, what it had done, I have a bowel disease. I'd suffered for it for about 6 years. And once I got on to the capsules, it was just amazing. I hadn't felt that great for absolutely ages. I went into remission, and I'd not had that for years and years. Basically, I'd never had longer than 2 months in remission. So Louise actually asked me, we were in the second lockdown, I wasn't able to open my salon. Louise asked me if I'd ever thought about joining the company, which I had, because all through my skincare training, something the company always goes back to is that you have to treat your skin from the inside as well as the outside. I didn't want any of the other products that were on the market because they all have a skincare range, and I already had a really great skincare range. So for me to get the great results that I did with these products, I thought, this is it. This is what I've got to do. And I've never really focused on building the team side. I've always been more focused on the products and what they can do for people. I just love helping people with their health and seeing the improvement that all these products can give people. But once the Thailand and the Rio thing came in, I was like, I want to go to Thailand. I want to go to Rio. And the only way to do that is to build a team. So I basically just started talking about it. Of course, the £1 join up fee came in, and that has just been absolutely fantastic. And every time you post about it, somebody out there is going to ask you what it's all about, because everybody is struggling just now. The cost of living is just crazy. Every single person is like, oh, dreading the next bill coming in. So unless you go and chat about this to people, they're not going to know about it. So I would say just start talking about it, just go and speak to those people, and you will be able to build your team too.
Absolutely brilliant. Thank you so much, Lisa. And thank you, Stevie, as well. Absolutely fantastic. And I think one of the main things that I took away from first with Stevie is that riding that wave, right? That it's not just about what can happen in a year, because it's like with everything, you know, even with relationships, with everything in your life, you can have ups and you can have downs. You can have times where you go, I don't know what I'm doing, times where you feel like you're succeeding. And so if you ride that wave over time, you know that you're going to get some amazing moments amongst the harder moments. So thank you so much, guys. And thank you for jumping on. Hi, guys. Nice to see you all today. What an amazing Saturday we've got lined up. So our next speaker is a girl called Eliana Pelagio. She's an NMD. She's originally from Italy. She found the business opportunity actually when she was living in the UK, but she took that opportunity to go to Tenerife, where she did a 90-day game plan that completely changed her business. And she realized that this can be a full-time career. She currently still lives in Tenerife, I believe, with her husband, building business and spreading all good, juicy vibes around the world. And I'm really excited to hear from her. So Eliana, if you can please unmute yourself.
Yes, I'm unmuted. Hi, everyone. Hi, James. Nice to see you. And thank you for inviting me. So it's a hot topic, 90-day game plan, because I'm planning a new one. So I feel very excited about that. So what's your name? Erin. As Erin said, like, I came here originally to do a 90 days game plan. And this 90 days game plan is never finished because I'm still here in Tenerife, such is quite hilarious how we end up. So what is it? A 90 days game plan is a series of actions increased on a daily basis for 90 days. Okay, so if you listen to someone like network marketing trainer outside, sometimes they tell you you need to lock inside for 90 days, work an insane amount of hours, but let's make it more realistic, okay? Because I think that 90% of people that do network marketing, they already have a job, okay? So what I want to do today with you is to create your own 90 days window, okay, in which you can increase your daily actions and then you can reach a goal, okay? Because one thing that makes me really frustrated about sometimes the industry is when people trying to make it so unrealistic, and then you get frustrated and then you don't achieve your goals. And then what happens? You do less actions, you achieve even less and less goals. And then, it's a circle that it really drag you down rather than lifting you up. So I totally believe that frustration is the first enemy of success. So what I want to do with you is to help you to create a 90-day game plan that can actually make you successful. So then you can do more actions, then you feel excited, and then how you achieve your goal. So first of all, 90 days game plan. Let's all set mentally. So the first question we need to ask to ourselves is, why is this important to us? Why do we want to do a 90 days game plan? What makes our heart beat? Okay, why are we doing all of this? What's our desire? Or how this plan can actually improve our lives? Because it has to improve our life, our family, our you know, our lifestyle. So once we set mentally and we totally understand and try to actually feel your heart and really trying to be honest with you, you know, let's focus on what we really feel and not what we think that we should say and feel about this. I don't know if you can follow in this. I totally believe that we should really be honest with ourselves and with our goals and what we really, really desire. Second, let's decide to commit seriously about this. So first of all, I'm doing this for myself right now. So I selected a window in the calendar in which I'm committed to turn down social activities because I can live for 90 days with less social activities, okay? In my particular case, I decided to be a little bit more extreme. But that's my personal choice because I'm a very adrenalinic person. I like adrenaline. As Erin said earlier, I left London to go for 90 days in Tenerife, but that's because it's my excitement. I'm a traveler. I love traveling. So what I've done, I selected the window of this year and I said, okay, between middle of October until middle of January, I'm doing pretty much work, okay? So I'm gonna go to Albania this year because I decided that Tenerife for me has too much distraction. So I decided to fly to Albania and do it there. But for all of you guys that you have a regular job at the moment and you know, you cannot just fly somewhere else, just decide a 90 days window of your calendar in which you don't have to travel that much, in which you don't have important social commitment, maybe some relatives' weddings or something really important that will distract you, okay? And you don't want to turn down something that feels important for you, right? So that's why I was telling you earlier, make sure you do it feeling what actually makes you feel good about it. So find out this window, and then you know that in those, you know, in that period of time, you're going to be committed mainly to Juice Plus. Juice Plus is going to be your top 3 priorities, okay? And that's so important. My upline used to tell me, if Juice Plus is not in your top 3, you're never going to do anything with this business. So first, of course, we have family, then whoever has a job, you have job, health and everything. And Juice Plus has to be on the 3rd, or in some people is even higher because they refer it as a health Juice Plus and not only as a business. But just let's make sure that you actually have it in mind, that it's not just a little thing. So once we've done that, we are going to actually set up our goals. Which one is our goal? Another important thing, the 90 days game plan, it doesn't actually start on the 90, when we set up the first day of the 90 days, it starts earlier. I have already increased my actions again because I have a very big goal to achieve. So I will never achieve a big goal by October, starting in October, if I don't increase my actions now, okay? That's just to make you understand that sometimes we say, okay, from maybe next week, I'm going to send 16 new messages a day. And how can be this really achievable if today we're sending maybe 5 messages a day? It's not going to happen. I'm telling you, you can say to yourself, no, I'm going to do it. It doesn't work. Okay. So what we have to do to make it work is to decide this window. And then just a little bit before that, we already increase our actions. Guys, I really want to see you be successful in this business. This is for me as well, for my team. So I had enough of seeing like unrealistic, impossible goals that are not achievable. Okay. So then we take this little time to warm up our contacts, okay? If you're in a business already since a lot of time, take your report number 5. Let's go and dig in all our customers since the previous years, you know, our teams and stuff like that. Then we need to take our goal. And actually, James, can you allow me to share a document? Because this can be helpful for some people.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, I have it open here. I have so many things open. Okay, there you go. So what I do sometimes with my team is to set up a goal like that. For example, this is all in euros because majority of my team is in Italy, okay? But I think you will understand. So let's decide which one is the goal we want to achieve at the end of the 90 days, okay? So we take the pay line. In Italy, the SSC is 12,000 euros, okay? And we need 2 PB legs. So then what do? Then we say, what do we need to achieve 12,000 euros? We start calculating orders. So for example, I spoke to this girl and I told her like, okay, So what's the package you sell the most? And she said the premium capsules and complete. So we went to see how much is that in Payline, okay? And we divided 12,000 euros, divided the amount of Payline it actually is, and it came up, it would be 94 orders, okay? So after we done that, we divided that for, in this case, it was another period of time, but in this case, we would divide it between 90 days, and then we will get the monthly average of increased pay line we have, okay, that we need to have every month. So if we do 94 orders divided like 90 days, we know exactly how many orders are each month, okay? Are you following me in this? Because when it comes to numbers, I know it can be very confusing sometimes. So once we know we need, for example, 94 orders on a period of 90 months, we try to break it down week by week, okay? So for example, just to make it more realistic for the 90 days, let's take 94 divided like 3 months is 31 customers every month. So the question now is, what do I need to do to achieve 31 customers? So in our example, we realized that if we put about 10 potential people in our testimonial group, we definitely have customers. With experienced people, you need even less, okay? So the ratio may change person by person. So what we said here, for example, because like the time frame for this girl was different. It wasn't 90 days, it was go to a convention, but the calculation is exactly the same. You are actually going to calculate the monthly order, for example, like 31 messages, like you divided between 4 weeks, you know, it is 7 customers each week. Okay, so you're gonna calculate how many people you need to put in the groups, testimonial groups, every day to actually get a customers. Okay, so in this way, at the end of this calculation, we know exactly how many conversations we need to have. Okay, that is efficient. Otherwise, we keep on saying, oh, we actually need to talk to people. What does it mean talking to people? It means to show our product and business opportunity to them. And sometimes when we start a conversation with a brand new person on Facebook, we don't show the Juice Plus opportunity on the same day. So it's very, very important. And we are super aware of this, because when I started, people told me, talk to more people. And I was talking to more people, blah, 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 blah. And I was having a results. And I was like, but why am I talking to people? They say I need to talk to people and I'm not getting results. Okay. So the main concept is we need to show our business and product opportunities. So let's make sure we exactly know if we are doing it on a daily basis, because trust me, guys, majority of us, they don't show it. And I'm faulty as well in this, you know. That's why we go through phases in the business, you know? So like, and that's why I want to do a new 90 days game plan for myself, because I want to create a new wave of momentum. Anyway, once we broke down our goals, we are gonna plan events as well, online, offline, power hour. For example, I wanna set 3 power hours a day with my team. I would be in Albania, so I only gonna do spinning pretty much during my day, eating and then do Juice Plus. So I will set up like online events, calls, like I don't think I will do offline events in Albania, I will do mainly online. But if you are like in UK, you can set up like coffee meetings once a week, anything that can create momentum, okay? So after that, we are, like, as I said, set up high but achievable goals, because that's also important. Track down the work. So write like a spreadsheet. You can create it yourself, make it fun. And one thing I really think is important is not only to track your daily actions, but is also to track your emotions as well. So this time I will have like an emotional journal as well, because as we know, this business is very emotional. Okay, we get a day in which we feel really down and we're like, oh my God, I'm nothing. I don't feel like, you know. And I'm sure, who has ever had a day like that in this business? Raise your hands. Okay, so I think it's really, really important to have an holistic approach to this business. Like, we're not only focusing on the actions, but we take care of ourselves emotionally as well. Otherwise, we're never gonna make it. As I said earlier, frustration is the first enemy of success. Okay, so emotional journal, like write down how you feel every day. Was it a bad day? Write it. It was a shit day. Okay, you let it go. And then you start repeating yourself your positive affirmation, you feed your brain with positivity, and then you finish the day on a good note. Okay, that's so, so important. And in fact, in our 90 days game plan, we want to definitely set up some self-development, like Juice Plus Word, like this training that James doing, you know, anything that can feed our brain. If many of you work, just use what Tony Robbins called the net time, no extra time. If you're going in a car, set up an audio, you know. If you have some time on the tube because you're traveling, like that's the time for you to actually feed your brain with positive energy from the Juice Plus industry is better. We need to keep ourselves, stick to the bubble. Then it's very important that once we set up our frame, our window of time, we are actually going to see in detail what's our day going to be like. What time do we wake up? What time do we go to work? What time do we, you know, have breakfast and stuff like that? So each of us should really set some times in which we are going to do new conversations with new people, you know. And the challenge for people that are in the business since a long time is with the existing team. Eric Worre always say that the team sometimes become very needy, but our job is to make our team independent. So if we're doing a 90-day game plan, the best things we can do is say, guys, do it with me. And that's what I'm going to do with my team. I have one girl from my team here, so she's one of the few people that actually know about this. But in our next conference in Italy, I'm going to make a big announcement, and I'm going to say, guys, we are going to Albania as a team, and I'm started with me. And I will be making very aware that I will be focusing on getting new people. And that's so important. So we share this with everybody and they can join us. And that's how we create the new momentum. Then, as I said, let's make sure we have the morning ritual and all of it. If we do it consistently at the end of the 90 days, we are going to have momentum 100%. Okay, we have. And I think that majority of time, people quit in this business for the frustrations to not feel enough, to not be enough, to not be a big leader, to not have achieved this and that, or maybe the pay line drop. Oh my God, and that's the enemy of our future. That's the killer of our dreams. So please, 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 guys, if you want to set up a 90-day game plan, do it with the heart, do it with intention, and do it in a way that is achievable for you. Stretch yourself. We need to stretch ourselves, okay? Otherwise, we go nowhere if we stay in the comfort zone. But let's do it in a way we actually gonna be able to be consistent with it. Otherwise, it's just not gonna, you're gonna blow it up and we're gonna be really sad about it. So that's a little bit about the whole plan. And James, I think I covered all my 15 minutes with that.
Amazing, amazing. Back to Erin.
Wow. Thank you so much. Oh my God, I'm moving to Albania. Pack your bags, kids. Let's go.
In Albania.
That's it. No, absolutely sensational. And, I loved especially the bit about frustration being the killer of dreams. I think we can all relate to that. And also the idea of journaling your emotions, like factoring in your emotions with this business rather than suppressing them. Let's all do that. I think that's really, really powerful. So thank you so much. That was absolutely brilliant. And we really appreciate your time. Enjoy the beautiful weather in Tenerife before you go to Albania, because we certainly don't have that weather here in the UK right now. Wow, guys. Okay, so now we're going to cross over quickly to Julie Lim, who is going to share her business story with us. Julie is a beautiful member of my team and is actually my OG. She's one of my original team members, been with me from the beginning. So Julie, take it away.
Oh, hi.
Yeah, there we go.
Thank you for inviting me to speak. I'm actually at a Mind, Body and Spirit fair near Mansfield, near Nottingham at the moment. So I've just come out of a shamanic drum circle. It's amazing. So anyway, I've been with Juice Plus exactly 5 years today. So I started because I wanted to lose a bit of weight. I was not in a very good state of health, very overweight and uninspired and everything else. So I thought I'd gotten the products. 10 days later, I joined the business to get a discount, and it's grown from there, really. So yeah, and yesterday month end obviously was a bit crazy, and I've just had 2 of my girls promoted yesterday. So I absolutely love Juice Plus, and I don't know, what do you want me to say, Erin? I mean, just keep going, because I think ups and downs, right? We've had a few months, the last year has been a bit iffy, but I feel now that's the energy that I'm feeling, and that motivation, that momentum has really come back. And I just think if you are a little bit slow in business, don't worry, just keep going, and it will flow. Just let it flow. So yeah, I'm just loving it, loving the energy. So people keep leaving. Bye.
No one's leaving the call. No one's leaving the call. No, I think that's just brilliant. And Julie's testimony, you know, she puts the energy in every day. She always shows up. She always gives that energy, even when she's finding it that business is, you know, is tough. She always gives that energy, and she rides it out, and then it picks up again. And this last week has been probably the most successful last month end for your business in probably 6 to maybe 12 months.
I would say so, yeah. But I think as well, because I'm very focused on my health, and you know, because at Christmas, I think after lockdown, I just partied for 2 years, really. I went a bit crazy, went all around the world following a stupid band, and just went, literally let my hair down, and just, I was still working the business, but my focus wasn't there. My focus was getting out, because obviously we've been locked up. So I think for 2 years it was a little bit different. And but now I feel like I'm in that mode again. And you know, I want to get my, we've got a wedding in a couple of weeks. So, you know, I've got an outfit that I really want to look good in. So I've got a WhatsApp group that's buzzing, clients are buzzing, we're all doing it together. And I think when you focus on yourself, then you can help other people more. I'm also going to make you laugh, because there's 3 people in our bed every night, myself, my husband and Jim Rohn, every single night. We put Jim Rohn on, and Nige loves him. He's like, can you put some Jim on tonight then? I'm like, yes, okay. We know his life story, we know everything about him, but he's just such an inspiration, and so good for your personal development, listening to somebody like that. So we do our personal development every day. We're on it with our products and our, you know, exercising. I've entered a marathon. I'm doing a half marathon, my first official one in 2 weeks. 2 weeks today. And all this in 5 years is just crazy, because I was at death's door, and I'm not exaggerating. I'm very, very lucky to be alive. So this business has given me my life back, and that sounds corny, but it's true.
Absolutely amazing. Thank you so much, my darling, for jumping on and sharing that, and especially taking time out of your day. We really appreciate that. Thank you. Inspirational as always.
Thanks.
So now we're going to cross over to Torsten Dahl, an incredible NMD in the business. He's got nearly 20 years in international fashion, working within the high-end fashion department stores around the world. But he's also been in the Juice Plus company and family for 32 years. He has got organizations and customers all around the world, from Europe to the USA. And he loves how the Juice Plus is make people glow from within. It's a very different, I guess, focus to the fashion industry, which is just about making you look good on the outside. And he loves the fact that this is from the inside out. So Torsten, thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate this. Take it away.
Thank you so much, everyone. I'm up here in Finland, and thank you for this coffee success, because it has given us so much fun during the months up here in the cold north. So thank you for doing this, and I'm happy, very happy to be sharing my background and my success in the business, which has, as always for everyone else, also been a little bit up and down. And if I can share some slides, maybe it gives you a better view where I have been and where I'm going, or where I am. How does this work? Share. Is something going on? Maybe. Can you see something?
I can see it, yeah.
All right, good. So if we put this one on, and that was one too early, that's me then doing some lecture. I think somebody spoke about Tenerife. This is in Mallorca, and that was a wonderful time that we are doing every year with the team of plangers. Starting out in the fashion business, it was very, very important for me that my coats, which I sold to all around the world, had a beautiful drape that women was having a coat dancing around their beautiful bodies, and the fabrics were, of course, the solution very often that they had this drape that was needed. And it was beautiful mohair, cashmere coats, raincoats, whatever. And when I look at them today, this is from my catalog, which was in 1990. Many of the coats could actually be used today if I went somewhere and wanted to be in that business. But when I started out as a young boy, 23 years old, I was planning to be a naval architect, and because I have been sailing all my life, and I thought that would be the natural thing for me to be in. But then I ran out of money, and a kind soul offered me a job in the weekend in his fashion warehouse, and he soon enough found out that I actually had some talent for that. And then after maybe a year, I started to run his business, and then when the agreement fell through that it didn't work out the way we had planned, I started my own fashion business with 2 other guys, and soon enough years runs, and I've been in the Juice Plus business for now 32 years and having a lot of fun with James and all the other guys and feeling like a big family being here. That's really a wonderful story. But giving a little bit about what happened for me, then at one point I ended up having my head office in New York, and that was, of course, a lot of fun. And during 10 years, I had decided that I would not be in the crazy fashion business when I was more than 40 years old. I wanted to do something that was important. And we were lucky enough, and why I say that is that my friend that I've been sailing a lot with when I had the time off from the fashion, and because it was always 3 months, like 90 days game plan that we are talking about. We worked day and night for 90 days, and then the season was sold, which was if you sold fall season, then it was in the spring that you worked very hard. If you sold the spring season, then it was in the fall that you worked for those 90 days. And then suddenly everything was over and you could go sailing. And one day I found myself on the beach in Florida with my good friend Win Plange, and we started to wonder what would we do now. And then this opportunity came up around, and I had always used bottled water for making coffee in New York because the water was so full of chlorine, and my first days already in the US, which was in 84, 85, I realized that their meat was so full of growth hormones, so I needed to stop eating meat because I couldn't fit my feet into my shoes anymore, and my shoulders were too wide for my blazers, so I became a vegetarian. And that was a very, what can we say, frightening experience because I needed to learn how to cook. And that has given me some very, very exciting moments later on when I finally learned how can you cook without these normal ingredients, which would be meat and cream and all this wonderful stuff from the old days. So now love your body. That's before I would have said that love my coats or you are dead, but today it's love your body, and that's how we need to treat our body. We really need to love our body. And And Juice Plus has given us this opportunity to make it much easier than ever before, because if I needed to make a good dinner for me, it took me hours to find the ingredients to make it the right way. And also talking about the right way, I did, of course, the best I could, making the food as nutritious as it could be. And when I first started to eat or take Juice Plus, it was nothing really fantastic before 2 weeks after, or it was fantastic already after 2 weeks, because my friend Wim Plange came out when I was coming back from my 10 kilometers morning run, and it was a beautiful Sunday morning, and he didn't tell me that he was going running. So I said, why didn't you tell me? And then I said, hey, come on, wait a second. I just take some water and I come running with you again. So I made a 20 kilometers run in one morning before I would already be dead after 10 kilometers. So this is how it already worked after 2 weeks on me. I was a strict vegetarian, did my best, but I could never, ever find enough nutritious food in a meal without the support of Juice Plus. So it made me realize the difference very, very soon. And if we go back and forth between the fashion business and this business, in the old days when I was in the fashion business, if the department store had a CEO that I wouldn't like, or if the specialty fashion store had an owner that I didn't like, or a buyer or whatever, I was stuck with that store anyway. But here you can, in this business, you can really choose who you like to work with. I mean, we talk about this names list or memory jogger or whatever you want to call it. It is really so that if you write down everybody you know actually a lot of people, because they asked me to write down 100 people back then, and I came up with 250 in no time. Not that I remember the names of them. Sometimes it's just a red-haired girl that I met in that party, and because I knew how I could find that phone number to her later on. And it's also not like you need to use all those names on the memory jogger, because if you start asking for referrals, you find out that they very soon that they are actually sometimes better, the referrals, than the friends that are on your memory jogger, because friends and families are not always the ones that you should work closely together with, but they are really good sources of connections to where you find your winners. And that's what I found out later on. Of course, I did, like everybody else, all these stupid mistakes, you can call them, but it's learning experience really, and they are important learning experience, because people tell you what they are going to do, and you trust them, but then it comes out that they didn't do what they set out to do really. So normally you find them somewhere else, and here we have three very dear friends to me that I didn't know even before I started this business, didn't know that they existed, and then today we play tennis. We set out to play a tournament every month, but all of us is busy in our work, so it doesn't really didn't become true. But all of these guys are on Juice Plus, of course, all the products, and we have wonderful tennis games, so as often as we can, and dinners and parties, and here you see that the party has kind of started. And sometimes you always also find your girlfriend in this business, and this is beautiful Heidi that I live together with. And I remember when I thought that I could make good food, I wanted to impress her, and she came to my home, and she had dinner with me that I had made, and she got tears in her eyes because she liked it so much. But then later on I found out that she is even a better cook than me. So nice. Today it's her mostly in the kitchen, but sometimes we fight who is making the dinners, but I let her win. I'm a gentleman. And in this business, not everything goes like planned, and that is very often that we find people that are not hungry enough for this business. And what we need to find is, of course, have a dear body that we are working together with around the world to make this business fun business, because nothing is fun alone. It should always be together with a team and building a team, because the products, they are absolutely outstanding. They are doing more than you can ask for. And just like in any business, the act of follow-up is always so important, because if you don't have a schedule when you follow up on people that you have contacted or sent them a video or whatever, or today a YouTube, and that is so important that you remember the follow-up. And actually it's rude not to follow up. It's like follow-up should be an act of love, just like you would expect nice people to follow up on you if they have a really reliable or viable offer to ask you to offer you. And of course, this business gives us so much freedom, and that is of course also a challenge, because it might give you too much freedom, because it's really not an investment in the fashion business. If you wanted to go into a new country, you needed to find the best office, the best showrooms, the best employees, and before you got started, you have offered a lot of, well, how to call it, zeros behind the first. So a lot of zeros, yes, and then a lot of millions. So you needed to earn them back, and here it's £50, I think, and here in the Nordic countries it's like 80 euros, and that's nothing for people. I mean, they might spend it on a dinner easily one evening, just so they don't take it serious enough if they don't have the commitment to really do something. And Eliana has said it so well, of course, that you shouldn't do it for anybody else, this business, but you should definitely do it for somebody. And I mean, who gets you up in the morning? It's you, of course, but who makes your step bounce? That is, if you are doing for somebody, for some dreams that you have with somebody else, and you see a future coming up, that will get you up for sure from the bed easier than if it's just for you that you are doing this business. And normal business has, of course, this plan that you, or normal marketing strategy, that you have a boss and they have their managers and so on. But here it's really in the Juice Plus business, and that is what I like the most. If somebody is new, he is really the boss, telling us what we can do for him or her. And that is, if we realize that we do this planning well together, it's amazing how many people are helping you to succeed and become even better than you. In the fashion business where I was in before, I mean, you didn't want anybody else to succeed than yourself. I mean, that was really, and if you spoke with somebody, they for sure didn't tell you the truth. That was amazing what kind of stories were coming your way sometimes. And when I started out together with Wim or it was not really together with him, because I needed to start out this business in the US first on my own, and all went very well because I knew so many people there. And when I came back then to Europe, it was a little bit of a different story, but we were, of course, very excited about the possibilities. And I know that Wim and James, they met already in London, where Wim and Birgit was learning the business, and we then, as often as I could come over to Germany, we were starting to do something together. Oh, I see, I have Sina there. That means you in Finnish. So now you learn Finnish too. So that's what it is. So we started out then somewhere in Germany, and it was really an experience, can we say, because we had our first meeting, and after 10 minutes we realized nobody is coming, but we didn't give up, so we came to the same spot after 1 week again and did a meeting, and where we had invited everybody, and nobody again came. But then a cleaning lady came after 5 minutes, and then a guest who was late came, and so we got at our three what we can say, potential partners listening to us, or potential customers. And then if you help them, they will find their tree and so on. And we know how this works.
Torsten, just to say 2 minutes, 2 minutes.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. I'm hurrying. And then if we listen to this, I mean, this was in 93. If we look at what happened in 2014, out of those 3 guests, it's quite so different. So this is what we need to have a vision to know what's coming later on in our lives. If we just stick in it and we find the right hungry people to work together with. And we have a lot of beautiful people. I mean, I'm not missing fashion business at all. If you look at this girl, she's the European silver medalist in triple jump in Rome, and she has been on Juice Plus now for 10 years, so it's really wonderful. And of course, I'm partly Danish, I'm partly Finnish, so this is why I'm traveling back and forth between kitchens, and Juice Plus is, of course, the solution if you don't have the possibilities to make the best food every day and want to secure friends and families and your own health. So thank you for having me and telling you my background and my story. Yeah, I don't know if I have a guest because she has given me some notes.
No problem at all. Torsten, if Katri isn't on, maybe if she is on, drop James a message while our next guest is speaking, and then we can always come back to her at the end. James, would you be able to do it so that Torsten's screen isn't sharing anymore?
There we go.
Brilliant. And thank you so much for sharing that. How incredible was that? And when you see from 3 people to then that packed auditorium, I don't know about you guys, but it gives me goosebumps. And I loved the idea that no one showed up. No one showed up. Then the cleaning lady showed up. And then that begins everything. So absolutely incredible. Thank you so much for sharing that. So our final guest today, I'm very excited to introduce as well. What a lineup we've had today, by the way. Thank you so much, James, for organizing, and thank you to all of our speakers. Absolutely brilliant. And we are so grateful and so lucky that people give their time and their experience and their wisdom to help us grow our businesses. I think that it's such a gift, and you know, we don't have to pay to tap into this, and I think that that is so incredible. So thank you so much for everyone who has spoken. So our final guest today is an amazing PMD Plus called Elisabeth Schlunker. Elisabeth started the business when she was 22. She was doing her master's degree. She started part-time alongside her studies, and in 1.5 years, part-time reached the position of PMD. Absolutely incredible. She is now obviously PMD plus. She finished her master's, decided to choose JP as her profession, as if you wouldn't when you've done PMD part-time around your studies. She chose that because of the time freedom, and that's what she does up until this day. She speaks 5 languages, and her team is mostly in France, but she does have team around the world, around 7,000 partners in total. So absolutely epic. Thank you so much for joining us today, Elisabeth. We're so grateful, and we can't wait to hear your story and your tips.
Thank you very much, Erin, for introducing me. Can you put me on co-host so I can share my presentation?
Yes, that's done. Yep, yep.
Okay, perfect. So really happy to be able to share my story with you guys. It's a pleasure for me as well. And it's a pleasure to get to know more, because the Just Plus families, as you said, and as we've seen, it's so beautiful and so big and so amazing, and so many people there are happy to share their knowledge and their story and so on. And so today I have a specific topic for you guys, but I wanted to start with my story, because I think it's always important to see where people come from. And I know a lot of people here don't know my story. So I'm Elisabeth Schlunke. I'm now 29 years old, from Switzerland, as you said. And I started this business because I was a student and I needed some part-time money. And that's all I wanted to actually do. And my upline found me on Facebook. We didn't know each other. And he saw that I was a student and asked me, Eli, I see that you're a student. Maybe you're open to something you could do online and part-time. And that was perfect for me, because as a student, I have done, I think, all the student jobs that exist. So I worked in a restaurant, I've worked in a bar, I worked for every little student jobs that you can imagine. I've done that. And for me, the possibility to do this part-time from home, right, was amazing. So I just, when they told me like that, I saw the presentation and it started. And I never thought, I would be PMD. I never thought I would be PMD plus. I never actually thought I would do this business, because for me, it was, only, okay, now I'm finishing my master. I'm going to do this 6-8 months, maybe 1 year. And then afterwards, I'm going to become a biologist and so on, because I always, my parents are both doctors. And so in my family, it was kind of the thing like, you need to go to university and study and have good grades, and then you're going to become a doctor or whatever, that kind of thinking. And everyone, basically my parents, the society, everyone told me, Ellie, if you go to university and if you have good grades and you work hard, then you're going to get a nice job. It's going to be well paid and you're going to be happy, right? And I don't know, maybe some of you have heard that as well. Let me know in the chat if you heard something like this. But that was what I imagined. And I was very young. And so when I finished my master, I realized, or like before finishing my master, I realized that everything that they told me was not right. Because as a biologist, you can go and work in a lab after your master, and that is not the most beautiful and well-paid job that you can have, let's say like this. And so when I saw that, I was really, really frustrated and sad, because I had imagined in my head, oh, I'm going to finish the university and yes, I'm going to be happy and have a nice job and so on. And this was not the reality, right? And I've done everything. Like I had good grades. I always did my best. I always work hard beside my study to pay for the bills and so on as well. And so I've really done everything I could. And at the end, I was like, wow, this is the reality, you know, after that. And that's the point where actually Juice Plus, instead of being my kind of plan B, became my plan A. And so after basically 7-8 months, where I would just do this in a little spare time here and there, you know, when I have some time, like as a hobby, you know, because I really, of course, as a biologist, and then I studied health science, I've seen the studies of Juice Plus, I've seen the products, and I was like, this is amazing. Like, of course, I want to share it with people and so on, but, you know, I didn't really see the possibility that you can really have with the business. And at that point where I saw that my future was not what I wanted it to be, right? And that everyone basically told me something that was not really true, I decided, you know, to step up and take the possibility to do this business as a business, right? So imagine it was always the same me. So maybe 1 year, you know, older, but that's it. But always the same person with the same possibilities, with the same opportunity and so on. I just took a decision to say, you know what, I'm going to give this business a real chance, and I'm going to treat it like a business and not like a hobby and something I want to do if I have some spare times and so on. And so starting from that point, it was September 2016. I also had at the same time the first convention. It was Berlin in 2016 in September. And when I went there, that was actually the point where I said, okay, I can really do that, because I've seen people going on stage, being recognized for their positions, and they were normal people, right? And you know, this feeling when you go at a convention and they start calling up like the SCs and the SCs, and you see so many people going on stage and you're like, when is this gonna finish? Like, you know, how many people are reaching position? Like, and you feel like I can do this too. Like, look at this person, look at this person. And then I started hearing some stories of people saying, yes, I'm doing this business 100%, and this is like my actual job, you know. And then I went to them and I asked them, hey, how much do you earn? Because like, for me, this online business was not something that you could do and live off it, you know. You could only earn, in my head, like $200-300 per month. That's it, because that's what I've done until that point, right? And when I saw these people and I went and asked, you know, hey, how much you earn? Then I understood, oh, okay, you can really do business with that. And that's what was the point where I took the decision. I say, you know what, I'm going to finish my master. I still had 1 year exactly to do. And at the end of my master, I'm going to earn enough money so that I can pay for all the bills and so on. And the thing is, you know, some people say, oh, I'm going to go to NMD and so on. But because I'm from Switzerland, here, if you don't earn like a normal, like the basic minimum salary is like 3,000 a month. And so for me, there was no NMD, IMD. I was like, no, I need to go to PMD. There is no other choice, because otherwise I cannot live in Switzerland, right? And I didn't want my parents to pay for me, because I felt, you know, like I felt like you know, like my parents, they worked very hard to get what they have. They have nice things, but they worked very, very hard for that. And I didn't want to have them to pay for me or something like that. I always wanted to have my money. And that, you know, that drove me to say, okay, you know what? I'm starting university from 8 to 5, right? With some breaks in between. I can wake up at 5 and I have like 3 hours. So if I wake up at 5 and I start at 8, or maybe two and a half hours, then I can put 50 minutes here, 30 minutes there. When I come back home, I still have like 1 hour. Then I can do, you know, I also have, of course, stuff to do for the university. Then I have from 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. and so on. And I started, calculating, I have this time here, and I started to see, I can have 4 to 6 to 8 hours for Juice Plus if I organize myself, in a good way, and with the weekends and so on, of course. And that's what I did. So I said, okay, you know what? I have 1 year. I need to go all in so that at the end of the year, I can live from that. And that's what I do. So I started really, I was 22 at the time, 23. And a lot of my friends, they were going out parties on weekend, and they, you're young, you want to do stuff. And I was like, no, I need to look for this because I don't want to work in a lab after I finish my master. And for this year, I worked really, really hard. Like I almost never went out for a party or stuff like that. And I really gave it all I could. It was not perfect because my upline speaks German, but my main business is in French. And so we had nothing at the time in French. Also the business there was not really developed. There was like no one doing the business there because it was too difficult, but I didn't know that. So I translated everything with Google Translate. Like we had some PDFs, some stuff. I started to translate it in the evening after university and so on. And I just worked with it. We didn't have any scripts or any videos because everything was in German. And so I had to find a way, to make customer and partner starting from zero. And of course, like I failed a lot of time. I used script that I would never use today. Like I was writing under people picture like, hey, DM me or stuff like that, like spamming people and so on, until I found, what was working and doing my practice and so on. And after this 1 year, exactly on the same month I had my last exams, I reached the position of PMD. So I had my last exams in August 2016, and I reached the position of PMD in August 2016. And so it was like 1.5 years altogether that I was in the business. And when I did that, a lot of people are like, oh yeah, now I go on vacation, now I just manage my team and so on. I said, you know what? I did this part-time. What happened now that I can do this full-time, right? And how many more people I can help with that? And that was my mindset, And so after that, I was like, amazing. Now I can do this 100% and I can really go for it. And I continued, to work really, really hard. Of course, I had more time and I also went on vacation and so on. But I always, and also before Juice Plus, actually, I've always did my best. It didn't matter if I work in a restaurant, I also did my best. I always was there 30 minutes before. I always clean it the best I can, do the best I can. And that's what I do with Juice Plus as well. I always was looking, how can I help more people? How can I do things better? How can I, like if people are not signing up, then what I can do better? How I can do my presentation better? And so on and so on. And we're going to look at this point towards the end. So I continued to work very, very hard. And that's why when I was 25, I started to be in the top 20 in the company in Europe. And in 2021, before COVID, I became #1 earner in the whole Europe with 28 years old. And of course, like my story is I'm a unicorn, so it's an amazing story and so on. So I don't want you to compare or things like that, but just to understand for you as if a student that didn't know anything about business, about marketing, about even Facebook, because that's my profile before starting a business. And that's my profile today. It's even more beautiful today. I just took another picture, but I work every day on doing the best I can and improving myself. And that's why I get where I am, right? But for you, it's more you know, like if a student can do it, if a 22-year-old can do it, then you can do it too, right? And everyone, of course, with their journey and their goals and their time and so on, of course, but that's the message that I wanted to give you. And of course, this business has allowed me to do amazing things. Like I could pay for my own apartment. When I was 25, I could help my parents, my family. And this year we opened a shelter for handicapped cats in Switzerland, and I founded 100% as well with the business. Was also one of my biggest goals that I wanted to do. And coming to that, they asked me, of course, to give you some tips on, you know, what it really takes to be successful. And of course, it doesn't only take one thing, right? And it doesn't look like this, right? I could show you, and I could tell you many, many things that didn't go as they were planned and didn't go so well. And as you've heard, like, I had to translate everything by myself. I had to find ways on how to do customers and so on. And we are very lucky today. And you are very lucky because you have amazing uplines that help you. You know, if you have a prospect, you can connect it to them. They give you ideas, you know, and kind of scripts. How do you sell this and how do you do that? And I'm sure you have like a business video and you have things like this event today, right? I didn't have any of that, you know, so I don't want to be the message, oh yeah, she went from zero to everything without doing nothing. No, it's really the opposite, and it really looks like this. But what are really the steps and the things that it takes to be successful? The most important thing I would say is we talk a lot about why, right? But the why is because I didn't have a why in the beginning, right? My why was I want to earn 200-300 per month to being able to pay for my extras beside my studies, right? The why is also, it can be a vision, because some people struggle with that. They're like, for example, I'm not a mother, so I don't have kids, because if you have kids, normally they're your why or your family and so on. I didn't have that, right? And I always felt bad because people were like, yes, this is my why, and this is my why, and I didn't have that, right? Not even when I did PMD, I didn't have that why, but I had a vision. And my vision was, when I'm done with my master, I want to be able to provide for myself and not being dependent on other people, or not having to ask for money, right? And that was the most important thing. And that was what changed everything, right? Because we had the same person taking a different decision and having a different vision that made the different result, right? And you really need to have clear goals. And this is also always what I do with my team. Whenever we've set up for a goal, we always see, okay, how many customers do you need to have? How many partners do you need to have? And we plan it forward. So if you want to be, I don't know, SSC in 4 months, then you need to do this amount of customer, right, every month. And how much can we grow every month so that it's sustainable for you and your team? For example, 5 more months in your team and so on. But you need really to plan it like this, and to be like, okay, what I really need to do, and then to go down and see what I need to do every day. How many people do I need to write to? If I work on social media, for example, of course, I work on social media. So it was for me like, how many people do I need to write to if I want to sign up one partner? And how many people do I need to speak to if I want to sign up one customer? And this needs to be very clear for you, because of course you need to scale everything. You don't just become SC, SSC, whatever position like this. It doesn't just happen like this, right? The second thing is the persistence, because for anything in life, if you start and stop and start and stop, you don't get anywhere, right? It's like a popcorn. If you put it in a microwave and every 2 seconds you look if the popcorn has popped, it never pops, right? So you need to be persistent for a certain amount of time right? And give a certain amount of energy and whatever time you have, because I did it part-time. I didn't have the whole day to do that, right? So whatever, even if you have 2 hours, 3 hours, but you give your 100% in these 3 hours, right? And you know exactly what you want to do and your goals and so on. And also going the extra mile, because again, it doesn't just happen like this, right? Any position, it doesn't just happen. Maybe the partner plus, yes. But other than that, no. So you need to always, and that's what I always did, always the extra mile. How can I help more people? How can I do things better? You know, how can I improve myself and so on? And always, can I do a little bit more for my customer? Can I do a little bit more for my partners? You know, always a little bit more. And going, of course, this also means going out of your comfort zone. And this is like unnegotiable. You cannot, like, sometimes we think, oh, but why does it has to be like this? Instead of thinking, how can I make it easier? You know, because that's how it is. But you have to find ways of going, of achieving it anyway, of going to it anyway, you know. So how can you make it, for example, it's so stressful to do new partners. I don't know, maybe you have that problem. Instead of thinking like this, think, how can I make it less stressful? Because if you need to do, I don't know, 2 partner a month, then you need to do 2 partner a month. You know, there is no other way, you know. And I know people always start to look on other ways of doing, no, that's it. So if you need to do this, then you need to do this. Then how you can find a way to do it so that it's doable for you, right? How can you find a way to be less stressed, even meet with more people, right? And this is the key. And of course, the mindset, so the resilience, it doesn't matter what, you know, it doesn't matter now if the economy is not that good, there is still people that want to have a product. There is still people and there is even more people that want to do the business, right? Of course, it's never easy, right? Because some people say, yeah, but I would love to start in 2015 when you started, or when I don't know, when Torsten started, or some people that are here since many, many years. It was more difficult. It was not more easy, right? I didn't have anything. So you are happy actually that you can start today, where we have so many new things and so many PDFs and scripts and Zooms and everything, right? And of course, always with the positive mindset and with a solution mindset. Again, how can I find a solution for this instead of frustrating on something that I cannot change, right? Because yes, it takes time and it takes energy and nerves to have new partners, to find new customers, but that's what we have to do. So how can I make it more enjoyable for me? You know, how can I attract better people? How can I work not harder, but smarter, with the same time doing more things, you know, because that's the key at the end. None of us has more than 24 hours per day, right? So, and the last point, continuous learning and adapting. And I think that was my key, because I was a student. And so for me was, you know, I didn't have any ego. Like when they told me, Eli, you have to translate the stuff because we don't have anything, I didn't say, what is this shit company? They don't have stuff in French. No, I said, okay, then I'm gonna translate it to French, no problem. You know, when they say, well, you cannot use anything we have because in Germany, okay, then I'm gonna do my stuff. Then I'm gonna learn how to do it. Yeah, like now we have TikTok. I don't know if anyone is working on TikTok, but for example, it was also new for me. I didn't know it. I have to learn, right? Then I'm gonna learn, and then I'm gonna be better. If you do something every day, in some months you're gonna be better, right? Anyway, and it doesn't matter where you start and everything. Like if you want to run a marathon, if you want to play piano, if you want to do everything in life, you have to practice. You practice, you learn, and then one day you're gonna be able to do that, and you're gonna enjoy that, right? Because we enjoy everything that we do, and that we do very well. And so put your ego on the side, like, and always stay to the gun. And that's what I've always do. You know, I'm never too cool for anything. Like, I could say, you know, now I'm PMD Plus, I don't do one-on-one call. No, why not? Like, why wouldn't I join this Zoom and share my story with you? Like, why would I take some time for people, for customer, for partner when they need that? Like, I'm not cool for anything, right? And we're here to help everyone and help as many people as possible. And so my last message for you, it's the really most important thing, to learn to love the process. Because if you imagine like your goals and everything you want to achieve, imagine if you wake up tomorrow and you have all these things, right? You wake up tomorrow, you're PMD Plus, you have a, I don't know, you have a big villa, you help 8,000 customers every month. You can help your family, blah, 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 all these things. You wake up and you have everything. You would be completely overwhelmed. You wouldn't know how to handle 7,000 partners, right? I mean, you don't need that many, so don't be scared. I have a big team. You don't need that many for PMD Plus, but imagine that. Like, because sometimes we're like, oh, I wish I would be like him or like her. But it comes with a big package, right? It comes with a package of 7,000 people that, of course, I don't manage all by myself, but you know, you would be overwhelmed. And so enjoy the process, enjoy the one partner more and one team member more and one customer more and 5 more and so on, because it's going to stretch you a little bit. And one day you're going to be the person that you need to be at a certain position and to reach your goals and to have the mindset for that and the energy for that and the stress managing thing that you need to be at that level and so on. So never forget that and always enjoy the process. Love where you be, always be grateful where you are at the moment, and you're gonna go wherever you want, and enjoy your process, enjoy your timing, and never compare to other people. Thank you very much for having me. I hope I was in the time and I was not over time, but if you have any other questions, don't hesitate to ask.
Absolutely amazing. I think everyone, we could just keep listening to you. I don't think anyone was looking at the time because we were so engrossed in what you had to say. And I don't know about you guys, but if that doesn't inspire or fire you up, come on. Absolutely amazing, Elisabeth. And you can absolutely see why you've had the success that you've had and truly, truly deserved. So thank you so much for sharing all of that with us. And I think, you know, I'd love to see what people, you know, their big takeaways have been from Elisabeth, but also from other speakers today. You know, drop it in the chat and we can all reflect on that as well. So thank you so much to everybody for joining us today. I've loved hosting the final hour of the Coffee Success morning and wishing you all the very best. It's the first of the month. So the best day to have a call like this, because we've got the entire month to go and make our dreams come true. So why don't we take Elisabeth's advice and go and see what we can do today to make ourselves that little bit better, how we can do it that little bit better. So thank you so much. I'll hand back to you now, James.
Great. Well, look, thank you everyone so much for all of your participation. Thank you for Erin. Thank you for Paula. Elisabeth, that was just absolutely outstanding. And what an inspiration. I mean, absolutely incredible. And I just love the way you deliver everything in such a calm way. Oh my goodness, you know, because we all think we've got to have so much energy to push through. And of course, having energy is great, but just being so calm and beautiful and just elegant with the way you present yourself and the way you put yourself across is so inspiring. And thank you everyone else for your incredible contribution. You know, in this last hour, obviously Eliana and Torsten, Stevie and Kelly, and then Sue kicking it off. Thank you everyone. The recording will be available, but what an inspiration. And I'm just blown away, frankly, after all this time. I mean, I've been involved with the company for 33 years, and I've finished this and I think, wow, I mean, you know, I am so much in the right place at the right time. So thank you, everyone. And we really look forward to seeing you soon. We'll have another one. We'll have another Coffee Success at the beginning of May, and then we'll be into the Power Day. Way! So we're so looking forward to that in Birmingham. Make sure you get your tickets. So everyone, have a wonderful day. Let's keep on the up and up. You know, we have something very perfect and very beautiful here. Let's keep it close to our heart, and let's share it with as many people as we can. Take care. Lots of love. Bye.